Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Intuitive Psychology, the podcast. I am one of your hosts, Sarah Gregg, and I am joined by co founder and all around incredible human being, Jill Ritchie.
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. I tell myself that every day. I'm an incredible human being. Yes, I
Anchor
am.
that in. Anchor that
I'm
in.
anchoring it in, baby. I'm anchoring it in. Actually, we're bringing some humor into today because, a lot of the work we do is so important, but it can feel quite serious and rightly so, right? When we're working with people and with their nervous system, and we've spoke about this previously, we have to take it seriously because this work matters. But also there is this real light, playful side, and I think so often we all could be doing with an injection of lightening up.
Yeah.
Right. So this podcast is entitled it's titled Your Future Self is Already Laughing at You.
Yeah. And yeah. And it really is.
What do you think our future self's saying to us right now?
My,
Like the one 5 years from now.
can't even imagine, but if it's, well, I can actually, because the pattern's there.
Uh-huh.
Whenever I look back, at the times that I have really worried, the times that I have stressed, the times that I have honestly played out the most ridiculous disaster moments in my mind
Mhm.
from you know, I'm going to lose everything. Everyone's going to hate me. I won't have any friends. This isn't going to work out. People are going to laugh. I'm going to be judged. All of those kind of thoughts that circle in my body and my
Mhm.
mind, it's honestly laughable as to how dramatic I made stuff sound mentally.
Mhm.
So I think my future self would honestly be looking back now and going, the times whenever I felt like that, let's be honest, are the times when I haven't trusted myself.
Mhm.
I haven't trusted myself.
Mhm.
So my future self would be like, trust and relax. It's not
Relax, chill
that
out.
serious.
Yeah, chill out. Yeah, just chill out. Like no one gets out alive. Sorry,
No.
but it's like seriously, come on. I think it can feel so serious sometimes, and really, what is the worst that can happen? Again, going back to what we've spoken about before, when we are living in authenticity and when we're really, that's our pathway to freedom. When you are living an authentic life, you're not comparing yourself to anyone, you're not jealous of anyone, you're really not judging anyone. Imagine that, what a great feeling for all the time that you're not judging yourself or judging others. All of that comes down to authentic living because actually then you're not comparing because you're like, I'm not even looking at what anyone else is doing. I'm over here really being me. And I think like the future self would probably looking at you and I in this podcast studio saying, look, I told you it would work.
I
I
know.
told you it would work. Like, wait till you see what's coming in the next 5 years. Like, oh my God, it's beyond your wildest dreams. We sweat the small stuff a lot. Like, we really do. And actually, I think it's just coming back to presence. Like, what is your intention? What are you here to do? And live from that.
Yeah. And how do we lighten the load? I think whenever I think back to, even recent times, whenever we first founded the Intuitive Psychology Association and, built out this field of work and study, it was like there were different points whenever it felt like this is really heavy to kind of
Mm-hmm.
hold.
Mm-hmm.
We were
Yep.
navigating our own partnership. We were navigating all of the identity stuff that it was surfacing for us, all
Yep.
of our fears, all of our doubts. And it was that, you shared on a previous episode, it's like, you don't have to do that. Like you can just stop, and I know that you had a
Yeah.
moment when you were on holiday with the family and you were like, no, this isn't for me. Like, I just
Mm-hmm.
want to walk away.
Yeah.
I know I had moments when it was like, oh, I'm doing this, but can I do this? I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. And it feels really heavy and kind of
Mm-hmm.
serious. But I think that's because it's what the
Oh,
pressure that we're
God, yeah.
attaching to
The
it.
responsibility that you take on is wild. Like, why so serious? And why do we assume so much responsibility? It's too much. We're
Is
not responsible for everyone else. I think that there's things that are gifts that are given to us and the talents that every individual has and they're unique to them. I think that is our job to tune into that and to live from those places. And You know, when it comes to end of life, you're like, I did it all. I did what I wanted to do. I lived authentically. I faced fear in the eye and I did it. But that doesn't mean that you have to take on the responsibility of everything and everyone around you. That is far too high a standard to hold yourself to.
It really is. And also, I love that you said that. And as you're talking, like the image that's coming to mind is like, we take it so seriously. I think because a lot of our conditioning and programs that we're operating on an unconscious level is it's got to be hard
Yeah.
to be worthy of success.
Yeah.
Like I've got to go through like pain and
Pain.
punishment
Yep.
to kind of get there. And then we force ourselves to this like perceived destination point where we can like eventually just drop all of this like responsibility for maybe finances, success, living up to our full potential, living a full life, the response, just the heaviness and the weight,
Mhm.
this pressure and expectation that we're carrying on the journey. It's like, oh, when I get there, then I can drop it. And actually, what you realize is, well, there's just more
I
because there's
know.
more for you to do. And the invitation is, I think, if I think about my future self, if she was to observe me, it would be like, when are you going to start playing the infinite game? And
Oh
that's what
my
I've started
God.
playing now. We're going to
Before you
say
even,
that.
I swear to God,
Love that.
before you even said it, I'm like, that's infinite game, the infinite game, the infinite game. I was like, and I said to myself, remember this. If she doesn't see it, remember and say it. And you said it. I'm like, it's all a big bloody game.
It's just a game. And when you get into the infinite game, like everything shifts and changes because all of a sudden
Mhm.
it's like curiosity and play. Like I think we're in a stage now, of course, like heaviness and expectation like come in. But when I'm holding it, when I picture myself there, like carrying the weight, it's like, one, is this mine to
And is
carry?
it true?
Is it true?
Mhm.
And actually, how does the journey and the outcome change when I drop this?
Yeah. Because if it's so serious, well, honestly, like, and I know things can feel serious, but really choose your serious.
Yeah. I mean, let us give you like a practical example. I mean, we see this all the time in our work with intuitive psychology that when clients have these moments, using the models, working with their intuition to really elicit these insights, whenever they have this click moment of like playing the infinite game and they start creating from a place of like joy and enthusiasm and they're in the journey, then the outcomes are the byproduct. And I know this to
Mhm.
be true from our lives. So we went to New York last year to record on a really big podcast out there. It was incredible. And both of us made a commitment and an
Yeah, I
intention that we
love
were
that.
just going to completely enjoy the journey. We had sunrise every morning down at Brooklyn Bridge where we would like play Alicia Keys and dance to it. Like
Yeah.
we went
Fun.
to plays, we had so much
So
fun.
much fun.
And actually, our business
It
thrived during
did.
that time. Our emails were like, we hadn't even been on the podcast, but our email inquiries went up, our social media went up, like everything increased. And that is the connection.
Because you become magnetic.
You do because you're enjoying the journey. You're doing what life wants you to do, what your future self wants you to do. The only real I hate the thought of regret, but if I'm like radically honest with
Mhm.
myself and it's a bit uncomfortable, but I'm gonna go there. Like one of my core commitments, and I know it's a value that you hold too, is like, I don't want to live with any form of regret. But if I'm radically honest with myself, my regret would be like that I took life too seriously when I didn't need to, that I
Mhm.
carried too much responsibility and expectations, that I felt like a weight along the journey. And actually, my future self, I hope she is laughing at me and like high fiving me and going, like, this is the point when you kind of stop doing that, when you stop equating like your worth to it being hard and it being a struggle. Like, I shared this on a call with our master intuitive psychology coaches who are training with us. And I said I worked with one question for a 4-week period to keep it in my conscious awareness, which was, where am I creating a struggle that doesn't need to exist?
Mm.
Because often I was like self-creating struggles that didn't need to be
Yeah,
there.
give me an example.
Like, for example, anything that was in the unknown. So it might be like rather than taking the action in business to maybe, write the post, do the reach out that I need, I might spend longer in a struggle about this isn't going to work out and I need to like have a plan B to be my
Mhm.
safety net. And so I feed more energy into the plan B when actually if I drop the plan B and the weight of it and
And all
just
your
went
energy
all in
goes
on
for the
A
A.
and went, oh my goodness, this is so fun and expansive. I get to create this. I get to build this. This is amazing. Or it like in my relationship or with friends, I might kind of think, oh, maybe that person doesn't like me. I'm not a good friend. I should have reached out more. I should have done more than that. And I start carrying this kind of like weighted expectation that I should be this like absolutely perfect, like well-formed person. And that life is this like serious thing that I've got to have a
Yeah.
grip on and I've got to get right in order to be
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
And actually, when I drop the grip and I just go, oh my goodness, like I am alive, I am on this earth, like I have the privileged position to like, and have put myself in a position where I get to do work that I love. I'm passionate about what we do. I love seeing intuitive psychology like change the world. I love,
Mhm.
you know, like my relationship. I have amazing, small, beautiful, intimate kind of like circle of friends. How do I nurture that from a different intentionality that isn't like super serious and heavy and weighted? Like, how
Mm.
do I play the infinite game and just go, oh, this is fun. Oh, I want to reach out. Oh, I want to do this because it's a subtle shift, but it changes everything.
It does. It does. And it's almost like really is that the way you're feeling. If someone's listening to this and you're like, ah yeah, that's how I feel right now. I feel like there's this heaviness or expectation. Just asking yourself, like, is this true? Or is this true because of social conditioning?
Yeah,
Because, like, is it really true? Is what I'm trying to say, right? Or is this actually, if you're like, is this true? Well, it might be true based on social conditioning, but that's a lot of BS, right?
exactly.
Because is it your truth though? Is it really true? Does it feel really true to you? And you will feel different, like asking yourself that question, closing your eyes as always, because in intuitive psychology, it's where we see most clearest, right? Because we're not with our eyes open trying to figure out, trying to get validation. It's like, well, what is my truth? We close down our eyes, we drop into that. And intuitive psychology shows us that when we do it, the seed of truth. And it is habit. It is a habit that we are in. And I think the future self, like if I think of me now, so this is 2006, and I went back like 2018. 2018,
This
yeah.
is 2000. You said
2016.
this is
No, 26.
2026.
My God.
I was like, this is 2000. Is she going back to
I'm telling
2006?
you what.
But then we were back in 2018. I mean,
We're
I
totally
know
going time
intuition can
traveling.
jump timelines, but like,
I'm sitting on my hands again in case I keep tapping them off this sofa, by the way. I don't know what's going on with me today. I'm time traveling back to the future. Honestly. Well, anyway, I maybe
right,
needed.
where are we? Where are we on
We're
this
on
time frame?
2026 if
Yeah.
you're listening to this, right? But actually, if I go back to, maybe I was supposed to go back to 2006. 2006 for me, I was a manager of a global, like international bank. Was the biggest branch in the whole of the UK. I was 26 years old. I mean, what a responsibility. And I actually did take a lot of that in my stride. But if you ever told me then what I'd be doing now, I would be like, shut the front door. Like, are you winding me up? But also telling me that I could travel and I would do all these things. I'd have 2 kids and I'd be sitting on a podcast and all these things. I would be like, oh, sign me up, baby. Because I never saw another option for me then. I lived in a world where I believed that, oh, well, that's it. You work in in corporate, you get a pension, company car. And by the way, thanks, they were good things, but oh my God, they stole my soul.
Yeah.
They stole my
Stole it.
soul. And in 2016, I was a mum at that point, 10 years later, 2 kids, young, still working in corporate. That was probably my turning point. I was really deeply unhappy and actually very poorly. I know I've shared this before. My hair was falling out. I had eczema everywhere. I'd never meditated a single second in my life. I thought it was for the crazy people. My God. And then 10 years later, here I am, 2006. you know,
2026.
2026. I'm doing it again. Right. Rob me out and start again. Future self in 10 years from now is laughing at me going, my God, you've lost the
Lost
plot.
the
You
plot.
have lost the plot. But I guess my whole point, Sarah, is like the opportunities are endless if we allow ourselves to play that infinite game and
Yeah.
stop being so serious and holding ourselves to impossible standards and social conditions.
100%. And it gets to be fun, okay? Because when we think about this and intuitively, you'll know this to be true. Who it is us placing the expectations on ourselves. It is us that can have the awareness of the programs that we have. And underneath those expectations, I think for a lot of the time is our sense of worth. Like, who
Mhm.
am I to enjoy the journey? Like, how safe do I feel to have it all? How safe would it feel to be like living your purpose and having fun with it and being wildly successful, but also being happy
I
and being
know.
able to hold and trust those emotions? I think for many of us, it's like that it can make you clench up because our programming and our
Yeah.
conditions operate on a different reality that is not real, in that kind of like 3D version of reality. It's like
Mhm.
you've got to work hard. It's got to be a struggle. It's got to be difficult, but keep on going, guys, because one day you'll get there. When actually it's all just different
Uh-huh.
levels and layers of the same game. And what if we played it as a game? What if it was like, oh, here I am at this level. Oh, this level of the game's a little bit tricky. I've got to navigate this part. I've got to find the key to myself. I've got to, discharge that negative emotion.
Mhm.
I've got to learn a new truth. Oh, and then that unlocks that. And it becomes this like joyous, expansive,
Presence.
present experience where
Present.
the weight of expectation is not on. Because when we really distill this down, the responsibility and the expectation is because we're attached to the outcome, because
Mhm.
we believe if I get there, then all of my worries will somehow dissipate and I will feel good enough. On some level, that is what the conditioning is operating at. We see that in our society every single day. When you do this, then you will be happy. It's the delayed gratification. We take the reward and we place the reward at the end and we say, if you work really, really hard,
Dangle the carrot.
yeah, and you go through all of this and you really you work hard and you don't enjoy one aspect of it, but then you'll get there and then you'll be worthy of the reward. What if we actually started with the reward in our hands at the beginning and we went, okay, I feel worthy, I feel good enough, I feel like this is going to be fun, I feel like this will be expansive, I'm excited to see where this game takes me. And you
Mhm.
know what, it may not bring me to the outcome, it may bring me something even better, because I know whenever I quit my job, sold my house and all of my stuff, and I had a blank sheet of paper, I honestly would have been happy at that stage if
Mm.
someone had paid me just enough to kind of like, a couple of clients that paid
Yeah.
my bills and
Just to
enabled me to
replace your old
travel.
income was the dream. That was the same for
Totally.
me.
It was the dream.
I remember doing my vision board. I just was smiling when we were talking about this, and this is the joy of the future self. But the future self is already there. Like think about it, right? I remember doing my first vision board and putting on my vision board that I wanted to go to Dubai on holiday. And now I'm running an intuitive psychology session in Dubai. Like, hello, it just shows you, like, it's like crazy. It's like
Yeah.
the dreams and the goals and the aspirations. And that is amazing. Like, I was like, I want to go to Dubai. I want to do this. And I wanted to experience that place, right? And there's some people that will listen to this that do not like Dubai, and that's fine. Everybody's got their own preference. But now it's like, wow, not only have I been there a number of times, I'm now taking intuitive
Yeah.
psychology to Dubai.
Total chills at that story. And like, and that's the thing, isn't it? Like the future self laughs in two ways, actually. Like I love that you shared that. One, at how seriously you took the journey and how hard you made it for yourself when it
Mhm,
didn't need to be. And two, laughing that that is all that you think is possible for you
mhm.
when there's so much more. I went on to get two book deals. Those books have sold like 90,000 copies worldwide. Then went on to kind of like travel the world for like 7 years, running my business, then set up this. I mean, if you had to come back in a time machine and told me that, I'd be on the floor.
Mhm.
I'd be like, there's no way. And here's the thing, you we think that we can't hold it all at once and the journey has to unfold, but you do get to have it all. And I
You
think
do.
whenever you realize that actually you pull out, if you're going on a journey, right? What is easier on that journey to carry the weight of expectation and responsibility and fear and anxiety and pressure about worth and what this outcome means? Or how easy do you travel when you drop all of that? Like, how much lighter
Mhm.
does that feel and how much quicker do you travel?
I love this. And I think that the key point here for anyone listening is, we've talked a lot about enjoying the journey and all that kind of stuff. And Sarah mentioned about you think you can't hold it all. Some people can't. And I actually think the key to being able to hold it all is having a regulated nervous system and cultivating a practice of presence, because the universe will not give you what you cannot even handle right now. So if you can't get present right now with what you've got, if you can't bring in gratitude for what you have right now and be so grateful for what you've achieved from where you are, for your health, for your whatever it is that you're doing, for the home that you live in, for all of these things, if you cannot even cultivate presence and gratitude for what you have right now, you won't get any more. It's not to say that you cannot hold it all. We are all capable of holding it all. The capability is there, but your nervous system needs to be prepped and primed, and you need to create gratitude and presence every single day, even for the smallest of things. Stop thinking about what you don't have and focus on what you do have. And that creates more space for more to come in.
I couldn't agree more. Gratitude is a huge part of my daily practice, like in the morning and then before I go to bed, at night, like just really
Yeah.
cultivating it in or taking small moments. Like, I've just moved house recently and I was like in my new home and I had this moment where I was just like a really simple thing. I was just like making a matcha, and I just like took everything in and it was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so grateful for like the work that I do, for the person I'm becoming, for the opportunities that
The
I
home
have
that you
to
live
be in this
in.
home, to like be building kind of like a new life in a new area for all of that. And it was just this moment in time that was like a freeze frame in a movie where it was like, it's all here. And again,
I
I think like
know.
when I look back at the times that I've struggled with that, it's like it's because I was looking the wrong way. Like I was looking over here when actually there was so much that was already in front of
Yeah.
me. There was so much that I was already becoming and unfolding. And like, I wish I had savored a bit more time in that rather than taking like so much pressure on to be at the next step already. When you relax into the infinite game, it's like, it never ends. There's always going to be a next level. There's always going to
I
be a next
know.
destination. So, how do you cultivate the stamina to be in the game rather than burning out?
Burnout is key, right? It's about enjoying the moments, taking the pauses, taking everything around you that's in. Because sometimes, and I see this with people, they'll be like, oh, I wish I could go back in time, or I wish my kids were younger again, or I wish this, or I wish that. They're here right now. The people that you love are here right now in this moment. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. How can you honestly get real, get bloody real, and take a step and actually just open your eyes, like really open your eyes and see everything that is around you right now, the home that you live in, and of the relationships that you have. And if you're not happy in relationships that you're in right now, or you're not happy with the home that you're in right now, I'm not saying that everyone can just go and buy a new home or end a relationship. What conversations need to happen to create change? What part can you take responsibility for having that conversation, for holding a boundary? What part of your home can you change up, even if it's one room? What maybe small changes can you make to that room to make it feel nice for you? Whatever that is, start small. I'm not saying that you all have the luxury and of doing these things, but everything is energy. You bring a lot of energy to your home, to your environment, to the people around you.
Mm.
Where can you play your part and step into the role of this this person that you know you're here to be? How can you really cultivate that in your day-to-day life? So if that's more gratitude, more presence, changing things around, moving things around, having bold, courageous conversations. And yeah, it takes courage, but nothing changes in what you are not changing, you are choosing.
I love that. I love that. So, this is your invitation today. Maybe work with this question in your consciousness. Just keep it forefront of your mind. What would your future self be laughing at? Like, take yourself down the different timelines in the way that we have. What messages does your future self have for you that you can cultivate and bring into the present now so you can enjoy and relax into the journey a bit more?
Gorgeous. Okay, we'll see you all in the next episode. Thank you so much.
Thank you.